What's going on, guys? This is your boy DJ Fastnex with another TV show review. This time, we're going to talk about Power Forces, Season 2, Episode 1. Alright, so let's get started straight to the point. Um, I haven't done any reviews for this show prior to this, even any of the other shows. This is my first time doing reviews on this show. I have indeed watched every last episode of this show, these series. So I'm not a newcomer to it, okay? So let's just jump straight into it. Let's talk about how in the first season, Tommy just basically ran through Chicago with ups and downs, twists and turns, just shaking up the drug world that's down there. And he took over with an iron fist, if you want to call it. Or he basically undermined the situation that was going on there and basically put himself, inserted himself inside the connection and the situation that's going on there. So we're gonna get started with this episode. Basically starts off as Tommy is kind of just still reeling after what happened in the finale last year, or the last season 1, with Liliana dying, and he's just kind of dreaming, and she's kind of like haunting him, saying how you got to get revenge, you got to kill the Flynns for doing what you did, blah 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 blah. So Tommy is just kind of going off, but he has to make sure he keeps his mind in the game so he could go ahead and get the other things that need to be in place started, because things have gotten crazy. Now you got CBI. They've now split into two different factions now, where you have Jannard and you have Diamond. They have their own set of people who work who were part of CBI, and now they're going and they're picking sides. So you got all this stuff going on. Everybody's trying to get their ducks in a row. Tommy does this big meeting with Diamond, basically trying to get everybody on board. Everybody's looking like, who the hell is this white guy? But most of the people are kind of down with the cause. They want to stay with Diamond. But that one, I forget the dude's name. Let me see. Is he in this one? Because yeah, he kind of probably was pointless. So it was probably he probably didn't put him here. But basically, one of the drug dealers was talking trash, and and he was like, why are we listening to the white guy, which is Tommy? And you already know, once people start getting out of hand, Tommy do not play no games. So Tommy was like, we gotta watch that guy. But Diamond was like, nah, don't worry about it, he down, blah 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 blah. So we go to Tommy leaving to try to find out what's going on with he tells Diamond that he wants to get a meet up with the Connect or whatever. So then once he does that, Tommy leaves to go meet up with his family, basically JP and D-Mac and all them. Just check on D-Mac because, in the last season, D-Mac got shot, so forth, and all that good stuff. And you see Tommy's mom is still here, so she's around now. She's actually part of their lives now. And so the funny is how Tommy and JP is like, wow, she's really good with him, with D-Mac, but she was never that good with them. And that was so funny how they kind of like connected that way. And so I think Tommy was talking to JP and was like saying, hey, let me show you something because I got something for you. Basically takes me to, I want to say that's the bar that the chick Gloria was running, and now he bought it and he gave it to JP. So that's pretty cool to kind of keep the bar running, I guess. But it's kind of insensitive seeing that chick just died. You know what I'm saying? So like, we just gonna say, oh, you died, now we finna take over whatever this was. And so he gave that to JP, saying, look, we gotta keep you out the streets. We don't want you to do nothing. JP like, look, I can help you, man. Like, what's up? He trying to get that fast money. And Tommy's like, no, I don't need you to do that. We need you to be somewhere else. Don't worry about all this shit. So basically he gives him that and he goes back. And so now he meets up with Diamond, because Diamond is now meeting up with the Connect. So this is where we get our introduction to Miguel. Now, he seems dangerous because, that's what they have to be. Any drug dealer, the kingpin, they always got to seem dangerous. And then when you watch Power as much as I do and seen all the other ones, I mean, I would say he's run of the mill. He's just the basic scary. I think in this show he has to be the super big bad, because that's the one you just gotta really watch out for. Even though they got the want to say the Russians, in the on the other side getting ready to take care of some stuff too as well. So yeah, so you got them. He meets up. He's wondering who the hell is this white guy. There's another person who's wondering who the white guy is, and Tommy kind of just asserts himself. Is like, look, let me tell you something, man. Look, we here about business. He sits down, and the guy's looking like, okay, we down, but he wanted to talk to Diamond by himself. So he went to talk to Diamond and was doing all this stuff. Let's rewind. Jannard is now doing the same thing Diamond is doing, where he's trying to get his people together, trying to see who he needs to get, so he will still, want to be affiliated with him on his end, and wants to see what's going on. So Jannard is going through his same little list, or going through his same group of people, trying to find out what's going on. But then he shows up to Miguel to tell Miguel that he doesn't have all his money. And Miguel was like, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Miguel said he doesn't have the money. So Miguel kind of tells him, look, you better have my money and everything you say you was going to give me. If not, you going to end up like the dude that he was torturing when you first meet Miguel. And so basically, Jannard's like, oh shoot, I got to go ahead and get this work together. I think he gave him till Friday to get it up. So he's like, got to get these people together so he can get this work together. So he's trying to find like other people because he don't have the work. He basically don't have, he needed the re-up without the pay. And they say you need to pay me for the re-up and you need to take care of all that stuff. So basically he needed to find a way to get more drugs so he could sell, and that way he could get the money for the next re-up. And so he's going through his different generals, different people, telling them how much if he come on his side, he's going to pay him this much. The same thing Diamond did with his crew of people. And so he meets up with that guy who was talking trash to Tommy when they was with Diamond. And that guy just straight up flipped. Straight up, hey, I'm on your side, man. Screw them. I don't know who this white boy is, blah, 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 blah. So he just flipped after Tommy gave him the product and stuff. So like, cool. So now we go back to, Diamond and them talking to Miguel, and he's saying, what's going on? You need, what's going on with them? Y'all separated? Y'all not together no more or whatever? He's like, yeah, we split it up in two people. He's like, but my half, I'm good. I got you. I don't know what's going on over there. He's like, yeah, because your brother came in here begging for, an extension and, just getting the re-up so he could get the money together, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I'm not down with it. He's like, I'm letting you know now, if your brother mess up, he out, son. Like, you taking him out. And he was like, be careful. He's like, I don't trust that. He was like basically saying, who is this white guy? Do you trust him? And all this other stuff like that. He said he trusts him. And they went from there. So he's like, okay, cool. All while this was happening, Tommy and his little, I need to be a womanizer self, see this man's sister, Mireya. Oh my God, he up here putting the move. I'm like, dude, this work, man. Come on, what is you doing? That's the dangerous game. Don't play with the people you don't even know who she is. So he up here flirting with her, trying to get with her, and she playing hard, guys. She playing hard, good. Like, look, I ain't one of these little regular chicks. You ain't finna just come over here and say something sweet, and I'm gonna fall in your hands. And so, Tommy, how he is. He feels like that's a challenge, so he wants to push harder, even though that might not even be the situation of him wanting to be with a girl like that. But he want to push harder because it's something that he can't have. So Diamond comes in, sees this fool flirting. He's like, hey, man, that's the dude's sister. Off limits. Don't even do it. Anybody who messes with her always end up dead. So we need to stay far away from that. So I'm like, nah, man, ain't about no girls, man. This is about business. I ain't worried about all that. And I'm like, oh, here we go. As soon as you hear somebody say some stuff like that, it's already gonna be some other stuff. And then speaking of girls, we go back to Jannard, who's still looking for more people to be on his side, and he meet up with Shanti, Showstopper. I think no. I'm sorry, that's wrong. That's not her name. Actually, yes, that was Shanti. Yeah, Shanti. And so, and she's a boxer, and so I guess they were friends and whatever when they were growing up, and she was part of the CBI situation, moving some of the drugs and all that stuff. So she was like, he was like, yo, are you all with me? She's like, yeah, I'm always with you. You my homie, man. like, Diamond on that BS and all this other stuff. She's like, so I'm with you. I'm always gonna ride for you. And basically, she sends a text to Diamond to tell Diamond that she done. She not dealing with him. So Diamond was like, all right, cool, whatever. So they do. Her and Jannard do a little flirting, which makes me think they might have had something going on, or they always wanted to have something going on, but they just ain't acted on it. I think it's the other end, basically saying they had something going on, they just ain't doing nothing now about it. And so they did a flirt. He walks out and leaves, and she was like, she kind of was telling me like, you getting this right, you get this work in this ring right now if you want to. He's like, girl, you tripping? He walks off. So all this is going on. Now let's get to these little. Oh, this family sucked. The Flynn's. First, you meet up with the dad. The dad is getting shaken down by I forget what the family name is. I think he asked him that was the people who he asked to go to war with them later in the last season or whatever, and he owes them money. And like when you meet up with Walter, he's basically confronted by his one of I think it's not butler, but he's like his security guard dude, the main security guard dude, and he's telling him like, your finances is screwed, man. You ain't gonna have no money to do what you need to do. You might need to sell a house. He's like, I ain't selling shit, and just went off this whole tangent about how he's not doing anything. So he's doing all this stuff. Now he's trying to find out what's going on with his kids. He tells his kid what's going on. His kids what's going on. All while the son is pissed at him because he knows he killed his girlfriend to keep him around. And the sister is like, I got to find a way to get my drug back out in the streets because we got to get this stuff together. And she wants to go 50-50 with her brother. Come to find out, she does want to go 50-50 with her brother. But her brother says that if we go 50-50, we got to be equal and you got to let me know every time you make a move. This girl didn't even wait a whole 24 hours before just starting making moves without letting him know. And the dad is getting shaken down by these other people saying, hey man, you owe us, we gonna take care of you, and you gotta take care of us, and all this other stuff like that. So he don't know what to do. The brother is just out there because he's just so distraught because his girlfriend is gone, and not only is his girlfriend gone, his dad is the one who did it. So the sister Claudia, she freaking out because she know if Tommy finds out she's the one who killed Liliana, she's dead. She gotta try to keep that quiet. So she's like trying to play her game a certain way and all this other stuff like that. So she's trying to get her drug, like I said, trying to keep her drug, get her drug back out there so it could be, more popular. So she has the cook still cooking it, and the cook is like, look, man, can I just go? I'm not a drug dealer. This is not my life. You kind of talk me into this. And she's like, well, it's too late now. You stuck here. You got to be here, and you got to deal with it. If not, we could kill you, blah, blah, blah. All this good stuff. So the girl was like, well, shit, now I'm working. I'm being forced to work. So literally, that whole situation is going on. All while Jannard, because again, like I told you, now that I had the conversation with Miguel, he's now trying to go find some way to make some more money and get, some more drugs. So he goes and he talks to Claudia because back then on season 1, Claudia tried to do a deal with him before making a deal with her brother. And he kind of turned her down. And so now he's going to beg to see if she wants to be 50-50 partners again. And now she turned him down. And now he's stuck. I don't know what the hell if it happened with with Jannard, because I can't even see how that's going to happen. So basically, he does all that. He runs back up to old girl. He comes to our house to see if I guess he was trying to see if she could do something, but I think she called him and was like, she went to his house. I'm sorry, she went to his house and said, I heard what's going on. That means you might need a little bit more. I got you. And she's giving him money. He's like, no, don't worry about me. Keep your money, blah, 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 blah. And so she was like, okay, well, I mean, it's cool. You want to talk about it? And basically, they get into this whole back and forth flirting thing again. And then now they get down to the business. I ain't gonna lie, old girl's kind of sexy. Man, she's sexy. I ain't gonna lie. for her to be a boxer, tomboyish. Good work, Power. Good work. But beyond all that, they did that thing and move on. You move on from that, and then you go back to the whole point where Tommy is like, okay, people trying to put Dahlia back, and she's trying to basically now she's saying, basically people are finding out that now old girl is back out here getting ready to sell Dahlia with her brother. So Tommy's like, you know what? That's gonna mess up some of the places we need to take over and the drug market that we need to control. So let me go ahead and get rid of this right now. So what he does is he gets JP. He calls JP and tells JP, hey, I'm gonna need you to do something for me. So he literally puts the ingredients for Dahlia out into the real world. So now everybody can make Dahlia. And so now old girl is so pissed, not even thinking, automatically assumed that the girl who's cooking the stuff for her put the information out there so she could get out of having to do it. And so instead of thinking, she just kills the girl. I'm like, all that girl wanted to do is live her life and be away from y'all, and you just kill her for no reason. I'm like, you didn't even try to pay attention. So old girl brother Vic shows up, and he's pissed off because she started to make the move on Dahlia and told Tommy. And so now her brother is mad. Be like, didn't I tell you that we supposed to be 50-50? You supposed to tell me before you make any other moves? Like, what is going on? So all of just with all that happening, they get mad. He's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. I ain't dealing with you or our sketchy ass dad or whatever. So he pulls out. So then we go to later on where Tommy and Diamond find out that old boy flipped and he's with Jannard now. And so Tommy's like, oh hell nah, we can't let that shit ride. And so he's like, so Tommy said, hey, Phil, take care of this situation. So Diamond's like, yo, bro, chill. We gotta be clean. And the reason he's feeling like that is because earlier in the episode, Diamond has to go to his parole officer, and it's a new parole officer that he didn't pay off. And so, or I guess Jannard paid him off or whatever initially, but now it's a new guy because they found out that he was taking money or whatever, and so they basically fired him or whatnot, and so he got a new one. Dude laid the law down like, look man, I ain't no BS. We gonna be down with it how it is. You gonna do what you need to do. You gonna be on time. I don't care what excuse you have, because there's no excuse is a good excuse to be late for your PO meeting. So sorry to hear it. You better be like this. You're gonna get drug tested. All this stuff is happening. You just need to be ready. So Diamond was like, damn, okay, well I guess I gotta be strict. But that's why we go back to what Diamond was trying to tell Tommy to chill, because he don't need to be around any of that stuff. Tommy's like, nah man, we can't let this slide. So Tommy goes off. So then while all this is happening, you get this whole big scene, well, first of all, before Tommy goes there, he goes back home and he talks to D-Mac. D-Mac basically explains to him how it's an easy way to move weight without just being on corners now. You're like, look at these guys, they doing these dancing videos on TikTok, and he said if you look at the emoji tells you where you need to go to pick up what you need to pick up. And he's like, hey, you see the snowman, blah blah, basic snowman. So he's like, that's how you know where you need to have your drops. He's like, okay, cool, set that up for me. He's like, but look, let me tell you something. You only doing that in this house, nowhere else. Don't let your dad know, and don't leave from in this house. So D-Mac was like, all right, cool. And it was cool, nice shout out, because he's in Chicago. So they show a dance to me, and it's a Chicago footworking. So that was pretty dope too. Just mad that they using that as a way to get drugs around the city. But whatever. So then again, so now we go back to where now these police officers are just getting this information on Tommy. First of all, the fact that and it starts off with them in the beginning that they don't know who this guy is. There's no information on him. Blah 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 blah. They say so. We got to get proof, fingerprints, DNA, whatever. So they basically stalk him. And what's crazy to me is Tommy is always usually 5 to 10 steps ahead of people, that he's not realizing that these people are tracking him, and that's what pissed me off. And then the fact that they just ran into his car and took his fingerprints and was able to, identify that it was him. I was like, oh, come on, man. Really? So they did the fingerprints thing. They found out who it was. They said everywhere we looked, they said this guy's supposed to be dead. He's not alive. They didn't, and people in New York didn't believe that he was alive. And this is why I think, what is her name? The detective from Power, the original Power, Rodriguez, I forget her name. Blanca? There you go, Blanca. They showed something about her in Power Book 2 Ghost. And I want to say they said something about her in Forces Season 1. So now they're going to actually show some stuff. Now this is what I think. Because they're now actually getting pictures out of Tommy out to be circulating. I think that scene, because I think it was in the Season 1. I think that scene that happened in Season 1. No, it was Power Ghost. It was Power with old boy. And Blanca says, "Oh, let me go see what this is." And she sees a picture of Tommy. I think that happens after this episode where they find out and they put the information out. Because who will be looking for Tommy? Well, nah, they did kind of put the pictures out earlier, so it could be that. There's a lot of things that's going on. You're trying to find out how they're connected and how everything is. But basically, they did the feelings out. People in New York do not believe that he's alive. Blah, 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 because even though they got clear pictures of him, they still say they don't think it's him, whatever. And so, but now they finna go ahead and start doing the task force to come after him. So Tommy has to watch his back from the freaking cops. So that whole thing happened, and then we go to the scene where Tommy sees the old boy, and the old boy basically, I don't know what he thought he was doing, but he squared up like he was about to do something to Tommy. And Tommy just walked up and just shot him and just killed him. I was just like, what did you think you was going to do? Like, what did you think he was going to do? I'm like, come on now. And he just died. So I was like, look, there's the beginning of that craziness. But, oh yeah, just go back to this Mireya, Tommy and Mireya. He pushed harder when he sees her waiting for a bus. And, yeah, she's waiting for the bus. He's like, why the hell? Your brother got you out here on the bus. She's like, yeah, because I ain't trying to be all fancy like that. So he's like, he want to take her home. He want to drive her to work. And she was like, nah, don't worry about that. He's just flirting hard, but he trying to get that. And, Mireya, she ain't playing no games. She's like, look, you don't want to be with me. You don't want to deal with my brother. He fucking crazy. Chill the fuck out. This ain't what you want. And Tommy like, you saying that, but this is what I want. And so later in the episode, D-Mac, his infection gets worse from the bullet wound, so he has to go to the doctor. He's in the emergency room, and the emergency room is packed. And this is where you find out that the emergency room that they're in, Mireya is in there, and she basically gets Tommy the help he needs for D-Mac to get them, patched up, so that way they didn't have to wait so long. So that's another little thing that put them together closer. And I'm just like, Tommy always flirting with danger. I don't understand. So you already know they finna make the whole thing out of it. They was trying to make a little something out of him and Liliana, but I think they was doing more of, like not a brother sister, but just like good colleagues, friendship type thing. And so they got to give him somebody else. Even in Power, the original Power, he always had some chick, and it was always in one form or fashion the downfall, almost the same as Ghost in Power, was this downfall, same as Tariq in the other one. Some chick is always gonna be the downfall of these guys at one point in time. So it's crazy. It starts off with a bang. I like the first episode. Can't wait for this Friday for the next one. Probably gonna do the review for that one either the same day or Sunday. It might be released. I'm not sure. No later than Monday. I'm gonna try to have it out by Monday. But yeah, I mean, if you're liking the show, put some comments down below. If you like what I talked about, if I missed something, put some comments down below. If you like the video, just like the video, and subscribe and look for me in any form or any social media, DJ Fast Snacks. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.